Welcome to the Double Dribble Podcast with Dubin and Dakil. That's Jared Dubin, author of Last Night in Basketball. Make sure you're checking out his newsletter, always dropping gems with everything that he has going. I'm Mo Dakil, former video coordinator with the Clippers, Spurs, Team Australia, write for Bleacher Report, podcast pretty much all over the place, as well as with Jared. And then I'll be on NBA TV this Sunday, the Association Weekend Edition with Alexis Morgan and Zach Harper. We're going to take you around all the games in the NBA. And then Zach and I think have the post-game show, the recap show. So we'll be on your NBA TV screens for quite a bit.
That's a lot of you and Zach. That's a lot of you and Zach.
That's a lot of that's me talking to Zach for a long time, and that's Zach also having to deal with me for a lot. That's a lot with us. But it's fun and it's a good time, and you should check all that fun stuff out. And most importantly, folks, rate, review, subscribe. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you go to listen to podcasts. Make sure you're giving us reviews. Make sure you're giving us ratings. Still not that close to the 5 million reviews I've been asking for. We got to get those numbers up, folks. And Jared, let them know where they can find us on YouTube.
YouTube.com/@DoubleDribblePod. And we're getting closer to the interim goal of 500 than we are to the large-scale goal of 5 million. But
I dream big, folks. I dream big. So, but yes, let's get to the 500, and then we can talk about the next, couple million that we'll need after that.
Before we get into it, though, still want to put out the shout out for potential intro music. There's a couple people that have responded via the comments in Spotify. I've dropped my email address in there if you want to send over whatever you got. And my email address is in all of my social media bios. I'm not necessarily going to say it on here, but yeah. If you want to hit us up, and we'll try to work something out for that. It would be pretty cool too.
Or if you work with Nintendo and want to just give us the ability to play the Double Dribble theme song from your game in the 80s, which I promise you very few people actually remember. But that's a whole other story there for another time. Jared, I mean, it's Thanksgiving. I mean, some people are listening to this while they're traveling. Some of us are going to be listening to this to avoid their family. So we wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a Thanksgiving episode. And the king has returned. LeBron James is back on the court for the Lakers. I mean, early thoughts. It's only been 3 games, 2 of them against Utah.
The first thing is just how there have been times where it's like, oh yeah, LeBron is out there for this team, which is very strange, obviously, on a LeBron team, which, like, there's never been a LeBron team that wasn't a LeBron team. So it's definitely weird to see that. Like, one of the things I looked up was, how many times per game do you think that he's been the guy actually bringing the ball up the floor?
Gosh. I mean, it's got to have been through the course of his career the majority of the time. This season, I haven't seen it much.
12.3 times per game so far, according to the tracking data. Last year, it was at around 23 per game. In his career, it's been as high as in his career during the tracking era, it's been as high as 39 times per game, and has usually hovered around 30 or so. And this year, 12.3. Luka and Austin Reeves are the guys at the controls of the offense, at least so far. But he's doing a pretty good job, fitting in. There have been, a couple of awkward possessions. There was a play last night against the Clippers where Jackson Hayes had a dribble handoff to Austin Reeves, and LeBron was, already coming over to set a screen, even though Reeves was kind of wide open for a 3, and it sort of messed things up a little bit. But there have also been some really good stuff. There was a play again last night against the Clippers where LeBron sets a brush screen for Gabe Vincent on the wing and just slips it to the rim, and Luka hits him for an easy layup. There have been times where he's getting them out in transition, which they need someone other than Luka to do. So it's gonna progress, obviously, from what we've seen so far, but early return's pretty good because, like he said he was going to be able to, he can fit in any way that you need him to. And I think that eventually he'll take over more of the responsibility than he's had so far. He can sort of ease his way into it, but it looks like he doesn't need to completely take things over and make this into a quote unquote LeBron team, and he'll be able to get, his just fine.
Yeah, I think the key phrase right there is ease his way into this. This is him kind of working his way back. It's only been 3 games. The net rating, you know, with the three of them on the floor, and again, super small sample size alert, has not been great, right? It's minus 16. With him and Luca on the floor together for the Lakers, the net ratings, like, again, around minus 16. Not great, but it's just 3 games. And I think the beauty of it is he doesn't have to rush back. And more importantly, I think this is the way he should play towards the end of his career is he should pick his spots. Like, it's going to be an adjustment for all of us and for him for this not to be a LeBron focused team. He's 41 freaking years old. Like, we're at the point where it's like, yeah, kind of need to not be a LeBron focused team. Need to be a Luka Doncic team. And then when we need it, we have LeBron. And I think that's something that we kind of got to start looking more and more back to the Showtime Lakers when it was Magic taking over and it was Kareem just like, all right, when you need me to have the monster game, I will. There was a sequence in the Laker Clipper game last night that I found like, okay, like this is where it's LeBron can just turn it on. He got a block. I think it was on Kobe Sanders or one of the young players. It wasn't Sanders. It was somebody else. Sorry, I can't remember who off the top of my head. But gets the block, then gets out in transition and draws the foul. Like, that's what you're going to want to see from LeBron, where he's going to turn it on from times. The way JJ's doing it, he's staggering LeBron and Luka minutes as well. Luka will get time where it's just him and and 4 role players. And then after that, it's LeBron and Austin Reeves, and that net rating's close to like 0, right? It's like negative -0.6 or something. So I think like what you're seeing with them and this stuff is it's LeBron can ease his way into it, and I'm not saying the Lakers don't need him because they do, and they will need him for bigger games and bigger moments. But like he doesn't have to press all game in the way he's had to the past few years for this Lakers squad pre-Luka Doncic.
There were some better defensive efforts last night too from him that he is able to do more often if he doesn't have as much responsibility offensively. On the net rating stuff, it's obviously pretty significantly skewed by the 2 Utah games. Like he was plus 18 last night, where he was like, I think he was like minus 18 in one of the Utah games, and they won by a few points. And I can't remember what the rating. I didn't watch the second Utah game, but yeah, I think it's obviously pretty significantly skewed when you have 2 games where it's negative and 1 game where it's strongly positive.
Yeah, it's super small sample size. Like I'm not holding that. Like obviously we'll talk about it when we get more games under the belt, but just kind of interesting off the bat in that, like, especially because against it's Utah, like you should be able to be. Nobody should be negative 18.
And because last year they were like not negative, but they were like net negative with him on the court compared to when he was off the court. So
right,
which I think was like the first time in his career, or the first time since his rookie year, or something along those lines, where his team has been better with him off the floor than it was with him on the floor.
Yeah, and I think they still got, like, there's going to be a little bit of a feeling out process. The good thing for the Lakers is they banked wins to begin the season, right? Like, they came out with the Austin Reeves kind of jump. And then you have, on top of that, Luka being Luka and playing at an amazing level. And, again, still looks great in shape in the way he's playing, and you're seeing some of that. They're getting out in transition more with him being more able to run and things like that. So, like, having the banked wins is huge for this Laker team because, again, it's not the, oh, crap, we absolutely have to have LeBron for us to win games, to, like, he's going to help us win games, but we can win some without him, and we won't be in a situation where we're going to be fighting for a play-in spot, towards the end of the season. And I think that's an important thing for this Laker squad.
Yeah, you get to keep those wins no matter what. Like you don't have to give them back. Doesn't matter what happened or, how close they were or whatever. But it's I mentioned the defense stuff. There were a couple better efforts. There were also some pretty bad efforts. Like he got blown by pretty significantly by Harden a couple times. But he's 41 years old. It's going to happen. But I do think the fact that he can put in more effort on that end, is significant because they do need perimeter defense, and he's one of the guys that can provide it when he's actually able to exert his full effort there.
Yeah, and if he's able to adjust the like if he doesn't have to worry so much offensively, it goes a long way for him in terms of having energy defensively to kind of keep everything as much as he can, right? Like again, 41. Yeah, you're going to get blown by Harden from time to time. Everybody is at some point. So it's along those lines. I think that was the stuff I found interesting with his return. And again, just 3 games in, like I'm not going with a hard, real hard convictions in this one where I feel like I'm so tied to I think it's going to work fine. I think he's going to, but I think we're going to see him more of like, hey, I'm going to pick my spots. And I think that's a good thing for the Lakers. I don't feel like he has to feel like he is this is Luka's team. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. And I think like he's such a smart player, such a good cutter that he can make things work for himself off of what Luka does, especially on nights like last night where Luka is hitting threes, and it's like it's like even more of a 5-alarm fire when he has the ball than it usually is. When he's hitting threes, it just feels like he's going to go for 50 every single night.
I thought he was going for 60 at one point. Like I turned to my wife going he's dropping 60 tonight.
26 or 24 in the first.
He had 24 in the first quarter, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is going to be a problem. Like. And the poor Clippers, like there's the clip of Kobe Sanders guarding Luka, and there's Jeff Van Gundy like telling him, get up, and he does it, and Luka drills a 3, and I just felt like I could just see Van Gundy's like just everything deflate in him of just like, oh.
Yeah, the Clippers defense is it's an issue, friends.
We're trying to be positive. Thanksgiving. We're not gonna talk about the Clippers because we want to be positive. But I'll just say their defense is awful, and they turn the ball over a crap ton. And that's
I can say
usually
one positive thing about the Clippers. James Harden is fucking awesome, man. Like that dude has there ever been anybody better at driving to their weak hand and still getting back to their strong hand? Like when Harden drives right, he gets back to his left whenever he wants to.
I guess my question is, did Manu ever actually drive to his right? It felt like he always got to
Eurostep. He was going to the Eurostep every single time.
He always got to his, like, I remember people were like, you got to just take away his left. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's been trying to take away his left. It doesn't matter.
There was one sequence last night where LeBron literally had his whole body turned sideways to Harden to force him to his right. And Harden just put like one move together and was like, oh, I'm going to the left and I'm making a layup. Like,
well, the problem, I'll tell you why it gets defenders with that is because that's when he wants to go to the step back. So if you're really just guarding him to take away the left, he's like, cool, I'm going to step back and you're going to be way further away from me than normal, and I'm going to get a cleaner look. But yeah, like Harden's had an unbelievable start to the season. Like as bad as the Clippers have been, it's not been on James Harden. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's been pretty solid. Any last thoughts you got on LeBron's return, or shall we move on?
Nothing specifically on LeBron. Just shout out Rui Hachimura, playing really well for the Lakers too. The guy's shooting like 48% from three. He's just a good player, man. They stole him from the Wizards.
Yeah, well, I mean it's been paying off for them for a while, and then they feel like they have to trade him every year to try to get the next star. You know, when they get Giannis, it'll be just centered around Rui. We gotta talk a little bit about the news. Chris Paul has announced that he is retiring at the end of the season. He did it with a commercial, which is also again kind of a whole other thing. But I thought we all knew this. I thought we all knew this was going to be
the season. That he said he did some interview. I can't remember who it was with, but he was like, "This is probably going to be my last season, or I'm probably going to play one more season, or something along those lines." I thought I remembered that.
I thought so too. So like when the news broke, my first reaction was like, "Yeah, we know." But anyways, we got
to know just based on how he's been playing so far this year,
or how little he's been playing for a lot of this season. I think the important thing is like I want to kind of just give him his flowers a bit. Like easily one of the best point guards to have ever played this game, and I think he is actually one of the last true point guards to play this game. And what I mean by that now, it's he always made sure he got guys involved offensively. He always was had the understanding of exactly when to go get his and when to feed other guys. And I got to watch this up close for 3 years when I was with the Clippers, and it was, it's a fascinating sort of thing to see him. It's a challenge for him as a point guard of like, when I can drop 30 almost every night. When he was in his peak, he could drop 30 easily and go to work. But it's like, when do I make sure I got to get guys shots, and make sure what's best for the team and offense and keep everybody kind of happy. I think the other thing about his game that's been almost forgotten to a large degree, just how goddamn good he was defensively.
Oh yeah, it's like a 9-time All Defense guy or something like that.
I think it's 7. I think it was 9 or 7. I'll look it up. You go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the true point guard stuff, like I remember when KD did a podcast with Simmons back in the day, he was talking about how he could get 50, 60 points, but he would rather just score 30 every single night. Chris Paul could get 30, 40 points, but he would rather go for like 17 and 14 assists every single night by setting up all of his teammates. Like when you were with the Clippers, it was Blake and DJ and JJ and all those guys, and he would just make sure that they all got everything they needed on every given night. The traditional point guard stuff, like always knowing like when a guy hasn't touched the ball in a while, I'm going to get him the ball. Like he made the career of every single big man that he ever played with. David West was never better than when he played with Chris Paul. Tyson Chandler was never better than when he played with Chris Paul. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, DeAndre Ayton, all of these guys were never better than when they played with Chris Paul. It was a consistent theme throughout his entire career. He was, the big man kingmaker. Guards that played with him consistently got better because of it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, all these guys that played with him, like JJ was better with Chris Paul than he was throughout the rest of his career. And just,
I mean, it's
go ahead.
Just a pro, right? Just a consummate professional. Like it's. You were right, by the way. 9-time Defensive Player of the Year, and all defense, not 9. I'd been impressed if he was a 9-time Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. But the thing about it was like, when you got Chris, or when we were with when I was with the Clippers, and we traded for Chris, and we know the whole Vito trade, and we could do the what if aspect of it with him and the Lakers. But before we knew we were trading for Chris, our thought process within the organization was like, this team can like maybe get the 8 seed in the playoffs. Like we're thinking 8, maybe even if we get lucky, couple of breaks, 7 seed. That was what we were thinking was our ceiling, right? Was like, we just want to make the playoffs, get Blake and DJ playoff experience. They're young guys, all that stuff. We trade for Chris, and it's like all of a sudden we're expected to compete for a championship, right? And like that's Chris's expectations. That's and he comes in and that elevates everything in that stuff. And then we had an unbelievable playoff series against the Grizzlies, 7-game series, and then we get smoked by the Spurs right after that. But like I think the idea though with Chris is that like when he came in, he put us in a different stratosphere. Blake put the Clippers on the map where people kind of recognize them. But CP made them relevant in a way I don't think would have happened before that. And I think that's kind of the fun stuff that we had, and it was a great run for him. And I think the peak Chris Paul during that time and that era, like towards the end of his New Orleans Hornets time, and his run with the Clippers was just phenomenal. Like I don't think we'll see a point guard like that again for a very long time.
It's just a completely different style of position at this point. There's nobody that really plays the way he did and does anymore.
Is that a good thing?
It's not a bad thing necessarily. Like, I don't know if it's either good or bad. Like, the position has changed, and now you need to be able to score to be treated the way that Chris Paul was by defenses, I think.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I think we do need it. I think we're going to slowly start to see some guys try to kind of come back in that vein. Chris is one of the
kind of similar, but he's obviously more high volume in terms of the scoring.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily know if he's as much of a playmaker as Chris was, in the sense of it being, and I don't mean this as a shot at Halliburton, it's not the intent, but like in the focus and the intensity of making sure I get these guys touches is something I don't think I see as much in Halliburton in that sense.
I think it's more that he's willing to get off the ball more in the context of a possession, whereas Chris had the control of literally every single thing that happened on every single possession for 15 years.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Like, Chris was completely locked in on that stuff. And then, of course, we just know he knows every rule in the rule book.
Oh, yeah.
With everything.
A top 5 to 10 offense unto himself. Like, if you got Chris Paul, you knew you were going to have a really good offense. You knew you were going to be one of the best crunch time teams in the league, like one of the all-time great crunch time players. Like, realistically, like an all-time great playoff player, except for like the 3 times that he totally melted down, which is like
I was there for one of them. I was there for one of them. That one hurt. That one killed me. Yeah, I mean, I think I think he's just going to join the pantheon. I think he's going to end up, being an analyst on TV, or if he wants to be a front office guy, maybe even a coach. I don't know if he'd want to do that, but I
wonder how him being a coach would go over, given how like him being like a player coach has gone over throughout his career and how it like wore on guys over time.
I think that's the thing, is I think he would wear down guys to a large degree.
He would be like a Tibbs style coach.
Yeah, I think even a little bit, not necessarily, I mean, harder, but not in the way Tibbs was in terms of like minutes and things like that, but just being like, he would just get on guys' nerves.
Yeah.
And I think there'd be a level of frustration.
You'd last like 4 or 5 years, and he'd be like, all right, can we really keep doing this with this guy?
Yeah. I don't even know. I think 4 would be a lot. I think it'd be 3. With that knowledge-wise, we know he could do it if he wanted to.
I have no doubt that he would be a fantastic coach.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I want to do this, and folks, we're going to try to keep this a little bit of a shorter episode. But Jared, it's Thanksgiving. It's all that fun stuff. Before I'm going to throw this curveball at you, favorite part of Thanksgiving meal?
Mostly that my family is all Cowboys fans, so we just eat Thanksgiving dinner at halftime of the Cowboys game every year, because that's like the second game of the day, and starts at 4:25 or whatever it is, and you have dinner just at the same time. It's just the routine of having that dinner at the same time every single year.
Love it. What's your favorite thing to eat within Thanksgiving? Do you consistently have relatively the same menu, or things change?
It's relatively the same menu. I'm not a big turkey guy, honestly. Mm-hmm. So, like, my parents will also make steak for Thanksgiving, and I'll just eat that.
Right. I'm not a huge turkey guy. This is generally the only time of the year I eat turkey. We just picked up a fresh turkey. Shout out to Bristol's Farms in Westchester. They even spatchcocked it for us, which was great. It was fun watching that dude like spatchcock the turkey and do it all relatively quick. But my favorite food within it is I love the sides. I love mac and cheese. My wife makes
who doesn't love the sides are always the best part.
Yeah, the mac and cheese, the mashed potatoes, all that stuff. Like, my wife does that. But my favorite is the pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I could tell on your face you'd already don't like it. We can never podcast again after this. The beauty of it, and shout out to my wife. She makes her own pumpkin puree now. Mm. So, like, she's taken her baking to another level where it's not just like freshly homemade pumpkin pie. It is like all of it is homemade. The pie crust to the pumpkin puree and everything in the filling. So yes, I'm very lucky and looking forward to my meal tomorrow when I eat my pumpkin pie at the very end. I always save room for at least 2 slices.
I'm more of a cake guy than a pie guy. Like, team cake over pie for sure.
I like both, so I'm not gonna really. I'm not gonna complain. I get it, and I get to eat it, and I'm very happy. But now I'm also gaining weight at a very rapid rate. But in the vein of it being Thanksgiving, we've had a fun, I think, start to the NBA season. A ton of close games. I know the injuries and stuff have kind of starting to hit a little bit, but what basketball stuff are you thankful for? You do one, I'll do one, and then we'll just kind of keep going until we run out.
Yeah. Just being able to watch these top 4 MVP guys like Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Shea, just the pleasure and the honor of being able to watch what these guys do every single night, and just how absurdly talented and how different all 4 of them are in terms of the way that they're able to get what they want to get on any given night. Just we're blessed to be able to watch these guys all in the prime of their respective careers. And with Luka and Shea, maybe not even in the prime of their respective careers yet, because they're a little bit on the younger side. Like, they're not even into their late 20s yet. I mean, it's unbelievable that we get to watch these guys do what they do every night.
Yeah, I mean, second that, and I'll also throw in another guy kind of creeping up in there, or I'll throw a few more names in there. Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards. They're not necessarily MVP candidates, but just like creeping up, and it's fun watching these guys sort of rise up with the way they're playing. And I know there's people going to come back. Well, what about my guy? What about? We're just doing this off the cuff, folks. So your guy's great too. I'm going to say one thing I'm very thankful for: the new NBA TV partners. We talked about it in the beginning. I've really enjoyed the NBC and Amazon telecast, their presentations. The willingness to try stuff a little bit differently, like I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but having Austin Rivers and Robbie Hummel on sitting near the benches for the games and doing their part like this. I like that they're being a little bit more creative with how they're doing things and whatnot. Like, I'm thankful for them kind of being a part of not just coming in and just saying, all right, we're just going to do the same as everybody else, but like, let's try to innovate. Let's try to be clever. Let's try to also like be excited about the games, which is something I felt like was missing in the broadcasts over the past 10 years. I think is just having that level of like these guys in there and new blood. Noah Eagle's great on the broadcast and so on. I mean, listen, they still got Reggie Miller, but UCLA dude, like, get him out. But like, I think there's still a lot of stuff there. Like, I've enjoyed the product they've put on the floor, both Amazon and NBC.
Yeah, Jamal Crawford, good on NBC too.
Yeah.
The studio shows have been really good, but I think Amazon in particular, the way that they're diagramming stuff on the court out there and the chemistry that group already has, I think is really good. I think ESPN has gotten better this year too. Like, they had that segment with Michael Malone trying to explain stuff in the studio. Legler on the broadcast has been great. Like, I think the broadcasting this year has been a significant uptick from where it was in recent seasons. So I'm very thankful for that as well.
Celebrating the game. What else you got?
Superstar breakouts like Tyrese Maxey, Austin Reeves, like Lauri Markkanen being back at the level that he was in previous years. I'm definitely forgetting some guys that have had like big breakouts, but when you get guys taking their games to a completely other level, like, that's just enormously fun to watch.
Yeah, it's and especially when it's kind of a little bit out of the blue type of stuff, right? Where you're like, oh, we're doing this. Great, love it. We're remiss. We should have also mentioned Wemby. I know he's injured, but like, that's a dude that kind of fits both categories. It's just so much fun watching him on the floor with everything that he does. But I'm also thankful for some of the old guys. It's fun watching Steph go nuclear against the Spurs, right? Like, those 2 games against the Spurs where he went nuclear was just ridiculous. Watching KD go to work, is fun. We haven't gotten it yet, but I know there's going to be a monster LeBron game somewhere this season where we're like, and everybody's going to do, and he's doing it at 41, and we're going to go, kind of crazy with all of that stuff. Like, it's fun to watch that stuff, and I'm thankful that we got the old guys are still able to do it at the way that they're. Harden's a great example too, older I should say, doing it and killing it and still kind of showing the young guys from time to time. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not too bad at this.
Yeah, with the exception of Harden, these guys are all in good situations to be able to do what they're
Yeah.
doing at their age too. Obviously, everybody else in the Clippers is old as hell, like James Harden. So it's
It's an old team. I saw something that they wanted to go get DeMar DeRozan. I'm like, yes, get older.
they are like in my. I have the wins above age derived expectation stat on last night in basketball. They are no longer the oldest team in history because they've started playing some of these young guys more because Chris Paul wasn't playing well, Brook Lopez not playing well. So they started playing like Kobe Brown, Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller before he got hurt again. Like they playing some of these younger guys a little bit. So they're and Bradley Beal's out and Kawhi was out for a little bit. So playing some of the younger guys like John Collins and Ivica Zubac who are in their late 20s, and then some of the actually younger guys like the Kobe's and the Jordan Millers of the world and the Cam Christies of the world that have been getting some more minutes too. So they're no longer the oldest team in NBA history or post-merger NBA history at least.
Well, they still are at heart, Jared. What else? What else you got?
I got the teams that are doing things differently. The Heat obviously doing something significantly differently offensively than anybody else in the league is doing. They just don't run pick and rolls at all. They don't even run dribble handoffs at all anymore, which was like the entire basis of their offense with Bam Adebayo.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, yes, I was agreeing with that was their whole offense.
Oh yeah, like with how many Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson dribble handoffs did we see over the last 5 or 6 years? Like 6,000 of those probably. So they're doing obviously something a little bit different, and it's refreshing to see that the Rockets doing something completely different than everybody else with their enormous ball lineups and just what they're able to do in terms of crashing the offensive glass and build an offense out of that, and they just don't shoot threes at all. And just being able to watch these teams that are willing to zag when other teams are zigging or zig when other teams are zagging, whatever you want to call it, just putting the lie to the fiction that everybody in the NBA just plays the same way. It's like you watch some of these teams and you know that not every team plays the same way, and the teams that are really, really different are the ones that stand out. And those teams in particular, I think, are the ones that stand out this year. But obviously there are plenty of others doing things a little bit differently as well.
I want to add on to what you're saying and just say the teams that also recognized they have to change, right? I was critical of the Knicks firing Tibbs, but look, I like that they've changed their offense with Mike Brown, a little more democratic with what we're getting there. I like what the Raptors are doing. This is what the Raptors have been, but the fact that they got the players to buy in, the Brandon Ingrams, the RJ Barretts, the Scotty Barnes, like I like that they've all kind of bought in to playing a faster style and more ball movement and movement offense as well. And in Toronto, I think there's still a lot of stuff kind of being worked out across the league, and I think this is a big shot to all the people that thought the league was so homogenous, right? And we were heading there a little bit. Everybody was too focused on heliocentric basketball and not understanding there are so many different ways to play. I think this is a good starting point. I think we're going to even see more creativity through the course of time and more variation in how teams kind of try to play their style and what works best for them. I am going to say I'm thankful for this rookie class. I've been really impressed across the board with these rookies. Like I don't know if this is something I should get more used to, of like more and more guys are coming into this league and ready to play at 19, 20 years old. And what I mean by ready to play, I mean like IQ level type of stuff. You know, what we've seen from Cooper Flagg, what we've seen from Dylan Harper, what we've seen from VJ Edgecombe, Kon Knipples having a good effect in Charlotte. There's so many. Derek Queen has been pretty impressive in New Orleans. Not worthy of the pick that he was traded for, but like that's still, you know, if that ends up being a top 5 pick, gonna hurt them. But like I still think but Queen, that's not Queen's fault. He's been really good and impressive. Jeremiah Fears as well in New Orleans. Like I like what we're seeing from all of these young guys that, you know, like I'm also being introduced to a lot of these guys for the first time, but I'm so used to rookies kind of going like, yeah, he has stuff, but we're not quite like he doesn't know what he's doing yet is usually the concept. But like seeing these guys kind of come in and like get it right away is pretty impressive for me. So I'm thankful for this pretty solid, like good rookie class.
You mentioned it, like the IQ level, knowing where to be and what to do and why is the most underrated skill in the NBA. And more guys, I think, have it coming into the league than we've seen in the past. Like, you didn't even get the Cedric Howard,
Right.
who looks really good. Like, Will Richard has done some pretty good stuff for the Warriors. Kalkbrenner from the Hornets has been pretty good. Colin Murray Boyles, when he gets out there for the Raptors, has
There's
been a
too
good
many.
player.
There's too many to name.
Yeah, there are too many to name, but it's a good class. I still think one of the things I noticed the other night, I think Cooper Flag jumps too far forward.
On his shot.
Yeah, I think he jumps too far forward. I'd like to see that dial back a little bit. That's just something that just incredibly nerdy thing that I noticed. But he's obviously going to be an incredible player. Like you already see it on both ends of the court. Like if he starts making jumpers, it's kind of just over in terms of what he's going to be able to do offensively. Like he's shooting 20-something% from three or something along those lines, and not that much better on mid-range jumpers. But he's obviously going to be really good. Dylan Harper before the injury was looking really good. Knipple looks incredible. Like it looks like the Hornets hit a massive home run with that pick.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Queen, like you mentioned, looks really, really good. Not worth the pick that they gave up, most likely, because it's going to be like a top 5 pick. But he's really good. And he's really fun too.
Yeah.
Just like an awkwardly sized player that looks like he should be like a lumbering oaf, but absolutely isn't. And the agility and the strength combination that he has is really, really fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at. You got any more you're thankful for?
I do. I've got the Pistons winning streak. This is
Yes.
a team that 2 years ago at this time of the year was losing 28 games in a row, which tied the all-time record. And they have won, I believe, 12 games in a row to set or tie the all-time record for the Pistons, which is just incredible.
I mean, I think Zach Harper had it in the bounce, and I might mess this up a little bit from memory, but I think the night they won their 13th straight game was like the 2-year anniversary of when they've lost their 13th straight game. So it was like that alone is pretty impressive. Just the way it matched up calendar wise, but like still pretty impressive. They've been amazing. They've been so fun to watch, and it's like they've been that team where it's like, I was worried about young teams when they have that kind of run, and they have a regression the next season. Like, no, they've ratcheted up expectations, and I'm impressed by the way they've handled themselves. And we still haven't even seen Jaden Ivey yet, who I think is going to really help them when he comes back. I'm still a believer in Ivy coming and being a piece for them. I have one more thing I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the NBA Cup.
Oh, yeah?
It's fun. It's fun. Like, try like I was just reading this morning all the different scenarios of this and that. Like, it's fun to have this in November. I get it. I know people get upset, like, what do they win and all this stuff, and they want more more advantages for the team if they win and all that stuff. But I'm just thankful for the cup. I could do with the courts being a little bit less brighter. That Laker court last night was a
It's
little
just certain colors. Like the red ones make it impossible to watch the game. You can't. I don't know what it is about the red courts on TV, but it makes it harder to see the action. And the Lakers like yellow pea colored court
was
also
just
makes it hard to see the action.
Yeah, it was just was tough. I remember just
the
going
red courts and the yellow courts, and I think we're really cooking with gas. Like I'm
Yeah.
fine with all of the other colors. Like I don't care. I just treat them as regular games. They are still regular games. But if there's a game that I'm watching that is like harder to see what's happening and harder to analyze, that's when I think it becomes a problem. Otherwise, I don't mind the colors of the court, like the blue courts, the green courts, the purple courts, whatever. It's fine. I think the red and the yellow are a legitimate problem for watching on TV.
Yeah, they don't screen test well is a big thing there with that. But overall, I am thankful for the cup. I was against it. I was like, whatever. But like, it's fun. It's been, like even teams trying to figure out point differential, which we're going to start to get into here in the last two games of these cup games, is going to be interesting to see how that stuff plays out. That's all I have really of what I'm thankful for. What else do you got? Go for it.
One more. I am thankful for the Thunder being an all-time elite juggernaut. Like this team, I mean, it's almost impossible to consider what they're doing. And we've talked about how it's just boring because they beat everybody by 15 points. But I mean, it's crazy to be able to build a team this good, and they still don't have their second best player on the court, a guy who was all NBA and all defense last year, and they're just pulling rotation players out of their asses every single no matter who they put on the court. I mean, it's
just amazing.
It's a privilege to be able to watch these guys do what they do every single night.
It's absolutely amazing. I lied. I have one more thing I'm thankful for.
Go ahead.
I'm thankful to our listeners. Thank you guys for rocking with us. We're starting up everything, and from when we started in April and getting this whole thing rolling, I'm thankful for you guys kind of hanging with us, and as we will continue to screw up electronically and try to figure stuff out, and one day the sound's going to work, one day it's not, or all that fun stuff. I appreciate you guys rolling with us. I appreciate you, Jared. Thankful for you. For those that don't know, this is all Jared. I put out a thing, and Jared responded and said, let's do a podcast together. I said, you know what? Let's do it. So it all started with Jared. So if you love us, congratulate Jared. If you hate us, it's all his fault. That's all I think I got. Jared, let's just go to it. College football. Let me go first. We usually let you go first. I'm going to go first. My beloved USC Trojans, we got our asses kicked in Oregon. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting us to win the game. I wanted us to win. I was hoping a couple of things go right. We played like ass and had really the turning point was Oregon's driving. They got to settle for a field goal. And we get a stupid jumping over the center penalty. And the kicker missed the field goal. And then Oregon scores. They go up 2 scores, and at that point, it's over. We're playing behind 2 touchdowns. We're not gonna. We don't have the talent level where we need to be at yet, and all that stuff. I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be. Oregon gets to talk their shit. They beat us. But for a program to talk as much shit as they have, and shit on our history, when they have 0 history, they have 0 national titles. I call them the zeros. Because that's what the O is, right? It's perfect for them. 0 national titles, right? And they want to talk about we're irrelevant. I've seen my team win a national title in my lifetime. I was in college when it happened. Not a single Oregon fan can say that about their football team. They can't say any of that shit. Okay? And then the fun thing is they're shitting on us and they're like, oh, they're living in the past. Do you know what they did before the game, Jared?
I don't.
They honored Marcus Mariota before the game. So they're celebrating their past because, they have so little to celebrate with all that stuff. So anyways, I hate the Oregon Ducks. I hate them. I hope they get their asses pushed in, by Washington this week, or they get packed up in the playoffs like they did last year with all the shit they talked and then got smoked by Ohio State in an embarrassing fashion. With that, we have UCLA this week. This is rivalry week. We're 22-point favorites. I'm still nervous because it's rivalry. You never know what's going to happen in these games. And I've been saying it all year. This is the exact type of UCLA team that would beat us, where they've been ass for most of the year. Fired their coach, whole thing. It's all, and then they just come out and then play this is their Super Bowl. They come out and play the game of their life. So, a bit nervous, but we got to focus more on your team because you guys are actually playing for something.
Yeah, we moved up to number 12 in the playoff rankings last night. The committee head is on TV talking about how Miami and Notre Dame are in the same comparison group, but they haven't thought about the head-to-head yet for some reason. The two teams have the exact same record. They're being compared to each other. But because Alabama and BYU are between them, they can't discuss Miami and Notre Dame, the fact that we beat them on the field. Oh, it was in week 1. So why do we play week 1 games?
The first game at some point is week 1.
It's not like this was 2 years ago that we beat them. Like, we beat them on the field this season. Oh, Notre Dame would be favored if they played today. Guess what? Notre Dame was favored in the first game of the season, and we still beat them. Doesn't matter. Like, who cares who would be favored in a theoretical game? The game was played on the field, and we won the game. And we dominated the game for most of the game. And somehow it was only a 3-point game by the end. But you know what? It was clear on the field who was the better team. But somehow they've been more consistent this year, according to the committee head, even though they lost to the only 2 good teams that they played. But, we'll see what happens. But, Miami beat Virginia Tech last week, 34-17. It got close at the end because they scored sort of a garbage time touchdown, and then we came back and scored a garbage time touchdown of our own to stretch the lead back to 17. Malachi Toney, I know I talk about him every week. The guy is the best slot receiver in the country. He's going to be the best player that Miami has had, at least offensively, in its history. Like, true freshman, turned 18 years old like 6 weeks ago. Makes absolutely no sense what he's doing. Just a zillion catches, a zillion yards. He's throwing passes every week now. This week he had one where because he was a quarterback in high school. He won the state championship as a quarterback in high school. And, he is throwing, sidearm Mahomes arm angle stuff on, jet sweep passes. What he's doing just makes absolutely no sense. There's not enough that I can say about him. I never thought that I was going to love a Miami player as much as I loved Cam Ward last year, because he was just doing, literally every time we got the ball, you were like, all right, we're scoring.
All right.
And, Malachi Toney is going to, over the next 3 years, because he's going to go pro after his junior season. He's gonna come incredibly close, if not surpass what Cam Ward did last year, just in terms of the sheer entertainment value. And we're going to Pitt this week. Pitt is ranked, so if we can beat them, we get another ranked win. This is the exact kind of game that Miami loses over the years. Like you said with USC against UCLA. We even lost this exact game to Pitt a bunch of years ago, where we had a chance to go to the ACC championship game and then lost at Pitt in a stupid shit game. Pitt is a pretty good team, but not we're better. We've already lost to 2 teams that we're better than so far this year, though, in Louisville and SMU. It's going to be 35 degrees out there, which in theory should favor us because we're built along the line of scrimmage, and we should be able to play in cold weather and beat anybody. But, you never know what's going to happen in these weird ACC games in cold weather, which should Pitt be in the ACC instead of the fucking Big East?
No, let's not do that because, my team's in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Let's not do
Cal
that.
and Stanford are in the Atlantic Coast Conference, okay?
Yeah, that's
shit makes no sense on any.
Not anymore. Eventually, 10 years from now, we'll all come to our senses and get this back to normal place, I hope.
Probably not. There's just going to be 2 super conferences. It's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC and nobody else. In 3 years, I would be shocked if we're not in the Big Ten or the SEC. But
yeah. Well,
whenever the ACC media deal runs out, which I think is after the 2028 season or 2029 season. But yeah.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that. I thought it was 2036.
Oh no, there's an opt out in 2029 or something along those lines.
But just focus on this. I honestly believe if Miami wins on Saturday, they're in. And then,
I don't believe that at all. The committee has made it very clear they just don't care about the fact that we beat Notre Dame. They want to put Notre Dame in the playoffs, and they're going to do whatever they can to keep the space between us so that they don't have to consider the fact that we beat them on the field.
I still think you guys will be in if you win, and nothing crazy happens. The one thing that could be stupid fine, that would, I think, take you out even if you win, is if Michigan beats Ohio State. Because then Michigan's getting in. And it's not a good Michigan team, but they'll have their big. They've knocked off the one seed, and they will jump over you in that regard. I don't think it's fair with that, but I think that's the thing. I think you guys win and nothing stupid happens in that sense. It'd be great if Oklahoma were to lose. It'd be great, if you get some of these other teams to drop out, but. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Can you guys, can I just make a plea to you Miami fans? Can you stop shitting on Notre Dame's win over USC though? Because that's gonna make
We
me
have
not
to. We
want you
have
guys
to.
in. No, no, no. You don't have to. You don't have to.
It's because the committee doesn't care about the fact that we beat them head to head, so we have to talk about how they don't have any good wins either.
Hey, no, they do. They beat us. Stop it. They have one. You have many. Stop it.
We've got
Because if
three
you guys
losses
continue,
and have a fourth.
but you also play this game where if you guys keep shitting on all their wins, then your win against them isn't that good either. Like just saying, that's if you're going to say they don't have any good wins.
Credit for having a good loss to us than we're getting for having a good win against them.
I get it, but if you want to continue to say it's a good win, stop shitting on that. Please, I'm just asking you as a friend, Jared. Just send a note to all your Miami people.
I'm not
just
someone saying that. All I'm saying is we have the same record and we beat them, and that should be enough. Anything else shouldn't matter. Like, why are we talking about common opponents when we beat them?
I agree with you.
And somehow the only common opponent that matters is Syracuse, but not what they did against NC State, who we destroyed and they didn't. Like,
right.
Somehow it matters that we played close with Virginia Tech when we were up by 2 scores for the entire game and 17 for most of the game. But the fact that they almost lost to Boston College doesn't matter at all. Boston College, 1-win Boston College team.
Don't get me wrong. I think both teams should be in, and I hate that because I'd love for Notre Dame to not make it. It's another one of these stupid programs that think they actually matter. They do. I'm just being a dick. But like unlike Oregon.
You hate so many more teams than I do. Like, the only team I hate in really any sport is Florida State.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I have 3 in college football. 3 in college football of, like, severe disdain. Right? And by the way, Oregon
over Miami, I'm gonna hate them forever.
Yeah, that's fine. And I would kind of enjoy that then, because then we can enjoy our hatred of Notre Dame together. We can lock arms with all that stuff. I think that's it. Everybody, if you're traveling for Thanksgiving, please safe travels while you're listening to this. Make sure you enjoy your family, your loved ones, all that fun stuff. And if you're staying home, enjoy the food and have a good time. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Double Dribble Podcast.
See y'all.